friends, so welcome to this new episode. In this episode, we will discuss about how to manage the validation rules centrally in the data quality management tool. So let's see the usage of this tool. So using this tool, you can able to centrally manage all the rules, and then you can reuse the rules for consolidation, mass processing, and in the data quality evaluations, and also in the inbound processing. And you can build a dashboard based on the dimensions and track the overall quality of the master data in the system. And then you can also initiate mass corrections of the master data. That way you can keep on improving your master data quality in the system. And let us consider one use case for today's workshop. So let's single table derivation is straightforward. Yeah, let's consider cross table derivation. For an example, base if the user adds purchasing role FLBN01 in the BUT100 table. Yeah, BUT100 table, then LFA1 big rule, the authorization group should be managed. So let's check how we can implement this rule and use it across different processes like consolidation, mass processing, and data quality evaluation. So let's go into the system and then implement this approach. So I logged into the system. So normally what we do, we for a change request processing, we have a baddie and also BRA plus to do that, right? To validate a master data. And then if you wanted to implement the validation rules for the consolidation mass processing, then it will be a different BRA plus, or you can also handle it using a code. But instead of having different cores or the BRA plus in a different places, you could put everything in one place, that is called data quality management, and so it is very easier to manage. And also you can enable this rule, disable this rule whenever you want it. Okay. So, and now we are in the your launchpad. So you will find this validations rules in the data quality management for data quality for business partner. You can find it, and then you can add it to the home screen if you wanted. Yeah. So on the now I click on the validation rules. Okay. So now let us create a new rule. So click on the new button and then enter the rule name PP and something meaningful. Let us give we are going to check the big rule, right? So it is in the LFA1 table, big rule. Yeah, okay. And then LFA1 big rule, and then the base table is may because sometimes you need to have a different rules for big rule, then you can put a 010202 like that. Okay, so now the base table is LFA1. So based on the base table, you can define the scope. So the scope means you don't need to run the master data for everything. Yeah, only if the purchasing rule is added. So you need to run this rule only if there is a purchasing rule. So if you wanted to include the relationship type in as part of a scope, then you have to add that as a base table. So I have to include, I think it's a role is BUT under table, and what is the checked field, which field we are going to check is LFA1 big row. Okay, so I'm going to select from LFA1. Okay, and then you can enter the rule name. Big row is mandatory if the zero role is add. Okay, and then you can put business description. If you have a user story, you can put copy paste this description, also scope and business reason, also the owner, experts, data owner. So if you have all the details, you can mention those details and then click on the create button. Okay, so now you can add the usages. So I'm going to add data quality evaluation and then change request and then consolidation and then mass processing. Prepare usage. So now this rule is normally applicable to all processes. That means consolidation, mass processing. Also, if there is a purchasing rule added, they are supposed to update the big rule. Also, it applies to the mass processing, and you can also run the data quality evaluation. And yeah, using that you can build the dashboards and initiate the mass corrections. Okay. So now we prepare the usage. Now define the scope. So click on the scope. Okay, click edit button and then you can say delete the condition. Delete this and then we can say at least one operand. No, not it's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah. So in the case statement, you have to say so we have to say the role. If the role is purchase, if the purchasing role is added, right, then this rule should be executed. So for VN01, okay, for supplier, it's a purchasing role. So if the BP role is FLVN01, that is a purchasing role, then big rule should be checked, and if big rule is initial, then the error should be thrown. Now activated, okay, the scope is activated. Now go back and then click on the condition. So here we need to define the conditions. So go here and delete the conditions and then click on, yeah, now create the case expression. Okay, so case, check, yeah, I hope it will work. Okay, so now we created a case expression and the return value is Boolean. Yeah, so the return value should be um, row default objects Boolean. Yeah, so we have a different expressions for different processes, right? For a change request, we have a different processing. We have to check the data in the staging table. And the mass processing and configuration, all this are stored in the PRC table. So we have to check the data differently for different processes. So let us include when in context, I would say rule stage. Oh, it's a rule stage. Let's check if this is rule stage. Yes, it's a rule stage. So let's say consolidation. And what we need to check, we need to check the PRC table and see if the data backrow is filled or not. So what we need to do is to create, we need to create a lookup. Yeah. So go inside and then click on database lookup. And click OK. Selection methods, we just need to check if it is filled or not. Okay, existence check, and then the table is LFA1 underscore PRC. And then the condition is the process ID and the source ID. Process ID is equal to, and then take it from the context, and the process ID. Okay, so this one. And then we need one more condition, right? We need condition based on source ID. So this should be based on, yeah, select from context. It should be from the BUT00 table, I would say. And you can also select it directly from here if it is BUT00. So source ID is equal to, okay, this is, yeah, here, source ID. So every entry in BUT00, which has the role which has the role purchasing role assigned, should have the background field, right? And then insert include condition, and we have to see that the background is filled. So you can also choose from here, or you can go to the context and then choose from there. So the problem here is it is not sorted. So if you want to look for a field, you need to really navigate, and there is nothing sorting or anything. But with the context, you can. If you go through context, it will be possible. So is not initial means true. Then you have to say the boolean is true. Otherwise, it is false. So now activate. Okay. So this database lookup is same for the direct value input, consolidation, and then I would say change result the BP. Now it is okay, and same it goes for so what we are doing is we are just looking up in the LFA1 table. We are just looking up in the LFA1 table, LFA1 PRC table, and checking if the big row is filled or not, right? So this is a database lookup. If there are so much of data loaded in the PRC table, then it will be really bad. The performance will become very bad. Then what you can do is you kind of create a procedure call, and in that procedure call, maybe you can cache all the data, all the necessary data, and then you call this and in the procedure call you check using the cached data that if the big row is filled or not. So that way you can reduce the performance issue. Otherwise this will be okay if it is few amounts of records, but if it is a huge amounts of records, then this is not the good approach, that you look up into the PV table all the time. Okay. Okay, so now we have to do it for the change request. So I'm going to click control. MDF is the change request. So now what we need to do for change request, we have to check the data in the staging table, right? So we need to call a procedure call because we need to see data in the staging table. So procedure call is needed. If you wanted to read the data in the staging table, we need to use the read API to read the data. So what we have to do is change result, and then you have to create a procedure call. So go to procedure call, and then I already did something. Yeah, you can procedure call. So this is procedure call to check the entity data is filled, right? So Begro is part of which entity? MDG. I think it was. Yeah, so it's REF when G. So let's put PP engine PP. I'll say NG. Yeah, okay. PP engine field name, the procedure call, and if you think there will be more conditions like this, you can put underscore 00 and create and navigate. So now we have to create a procedure call. So go to the T-code SE 24. I already created one method. Likewise, you can also create one method for all the DKM rules. And I created one procedure call. Maybe we can copy the same. So this is MDG, right? So I would say validate ep when gen and then field name ref when g, yeah, when g, okay, yeah, and then the parameters we can keep. You can if you require, you can take all the context parameters to the procedure call. So I'm taking the evaluation context parameters and then but00 context attributes and keys and then the return parameter. So using that, you can read the data. So here you can find the BPID. Using that, you can read the staging table entry for WinGen and WinGen entity and check if big rule is filled or not. If it is not filled, then you can put EV return as false. Otherwise, you can put it is true. If it is filled, it is true. Otherwise, it is false. So I'm going inside the method. So I'm not going to discuss about how to use a read API. I think most of you already know it. So I'm just setting a condition to false. That means I consider it as not filled. Yeah. So I set it as EV return false equal to above false. It means it is not filled. But you have to, as I mentioned, you have to read the read entity, PP engine entity, and check if the material group is filled or not. If it is filled, then you can set above true. Otherwise, you can set it above false. But as I mentioned, we are not going to discuss about this read API calls. So let's put the EV return is equal to above false and check the error message which is triggered in the change equals false. So now activated. So now call this procedure calls inside. Include this class and methods in the procedure calls. So class name is this, and then procedure call is this one, and then add parameter. You can include all the parameters, and then you have to map it. EV return to map to a boolean, yeah, and then you have to put the result object as a boolean, so you can able to select boolean. Otherwise, you cannot able to select boolean. So now I'm going to assign the context parameter. So this is the one I want to take. You can take all this context to your procedure call if required. So I assign it, and then I'm going to map is or data with the context parameter. I would say this is, yeah, I'm going to take evaluation context. Okay, so now I mapped everything and click on the activate. So when you click check button in the change request, this procedure call will be called. So now we have everything now activated. Yes. So now the case statement is activated. So everything is fine. So activate the main condition and then go back. Okay. So now activate. Now click enable. Alright. So first let's approve it. I forgot one thing. We have to mention the message. Okay. So send for implementation. So I have to mention the message in case if it is false. So you can click on the yeah your role is added. Yeah. So but if you want a real message text, you can put a message class, message number, message variable, etc. For time being, I will take this short text of the rule name. Yeah. And if you want, you can edit it. But if you wanted to in a proper way, you have to use predefined text. And let's try with the predefined text. let's use this one. And then the message. So BP with ID, it is very important because when you run data quality evaluation reports, then you get so many BPs into error. So if you want to identify which BP is in error, it's very important you put ampersand BP with ID ampersand 1 colon and then enter a value for field authorization group. You can also include long tests if you want, and then click save. So now go take this message class and then go here, message class, yes, and then 002, it's not there, 001, okay, 001, and then you have to give a reference to the business partner. So that is basically BP at the right partner. Yeah, this is the one. So BP with ID and enter a value for field authorization. Save it, and then you can now send it for testing. So you can enable use please first of all. Okay, you already approved it. Approve. Now you can enable. Okay, so now we enabled everything. Now go to system and then check this PFCG. First, we need to enable this data quality check for the change request type at step 00. Yeah. So I first let me check which change request types are available in the system. Now go to configure properties of a change request tab, create business partner, 00 step, and then activate this one. Okay, so now we did it. Now go to our class, put a breakpoint, and see if it got triggered or not. So okay, so we have everything. Let's create this. There are too many create business partner. I hope we are working with the right one. It triggered. So now let's check all the local parameters. So we have all the context evaluation, the rule stages MDF, right? And then the change request ID also you have it, and you have the BP number on all the BUT0 table entries. So using that BP ID or the change request number, you can able to read the vengeance data from the staging table, and then you can check if the big row is filled or not. In this case, we are setting to above false, so the error is thrown. Let's check above true. So then it is removed. Okay. So this is really a good tool. I would say it's not really a good tool. I think this is the future solution we're supposed to use, and I used for some of the customers, and it's really good that you manage all the rules in one place, and then you can enable, disable the rule for different processes very easily. So instead of using a baddie or a BR plus separately for a consideration mass processing and change request, please consider this approach. This is really, really nice. And the best thing I recommend this one is because you can really build, using a dimensions kind of dashboard and check the overall quality of the system, which is really nice. And then if the quality is less, you can check why, and then you can perform mass correction. So that way you can improve slowly your mass data quality. So for me, this is really an excellent tool. And for all my customers, we are recommending only the the data quality uh, data quality management for the maintaining all the validations rules. I wish you all had a great time, and I will come back shortly with the another. Thank you so much. Bye.